As I've been integrating this mega realization that the whole concept of wrong is an illusion, more things have been coming up for me. And one of those things came up last night when I woke up, and I realized why people had been mean to me throughout my life. And I realized it was because they could tell on some level that I wouldn't be mean back to them. And so they could release this hidden anger. They could dish it out, and and I wouldn't do basically anything. I had no boundaries. I was a people pleaser. And so I was like the perfect person to kind of use as this emotional napkin to kind of like unload negative and fearful emotions on. And so I realized this. I was like, wow, I'm so thankful that I'm connected to spirit and my inner guidance, and I've been learning to set boundaries, or even better put, learning to just listen to my guidance and acting on that. And then I'm setting these boundaries that have been just working perfectly. And the reason they're working perfectly is because there's no resistance. And yes, in the beginning, I did feel resistance to these people that I had to set boundaries with. But the way Spirit guided me to do it was in a way, in the most loving way possible. And I say this because you may say, oh, just tell this person, if someone is mean to you, just tell them to F off or screw off or, be mean back. But what that does is it's making the other guilty, and there's resistance there. And so it's saying they're doing something wrong, and so it's choosing to be a victim and powerless. And so it's just reinforcing all the illusions that we could be helping move ourselves and them out of. Yet it's just reinforcing all that when someone goes into that fight kind of mode. And the other thing is, when someone sees that they can get an emotional reaction out of you, that makes them feel powerful. It's not real power, that's why I put it in brackets, but it feels better than being powerless. And they do feel powerless, or else they wouldn't feel guilt and they wouldn't be projecting that onto us. So the best way to help us and them is to not feed into that whole paradigm, is to rise above it and to set boundaries in a loving way, which can look like just ceasing to engage with someone. Just being like, that relationship is completely over, and if I see them, I'm not going to talk to them, I'm not going to smile at them. And so this can be it. And then there's no nothing, like no one's making anyone feel anything, no one's controlling another, there's no power games. All of that has been laid to rest. And we can still love and have compassion for the other person without engaging with them. And this is what I have been taught. And it's to be aware of this, because even I've found with people who are on a spiritual path, and we're all on a spiritual path, but maybe some that are further along than others, they may still have many programs that they're operating from, and have this hidden anger and be dishing it out to you. And because you have some things in common, you put up with it, of course, until you don't, until you catch on to it. But what I'm saying is to Trust your feelings. Trust what you're receiving from within. Trust what someone shows you. That is how they're operating. And I know we want the best for everyone our paths cross with, but sometimes the best thing we can do is leave them alone and let them come to these conclusions on their own. I've had people in my life where I really wanted to help. I really wanted to open their eyes to what they were doing so they could move past it. But Spirit let me know that's none of your business. That's for them to come to the conclusion. And the way that you can help is to remove yourself. And so here, again, I want to say there's nothing wrong with any of this. There's nothing wrong with hidden anger. There's nothing wrong with the other ones that were bullying me for so long and all of that. It's all just an experience. And now that I have this piece, I am actually grateful for it because I can see how this is all tying together. And it shows that when we raise to a certain level and we see the purpose, we can truly have heartfelt gratitude for the experience. And I trusted, I knew that everything benefited me because it always does, but this piece has really helped me. And I've made a bunch of notes, so bear with me here. And so when people do this, projecting hurt on us, this hidden anger, it's to give themselves some relief. Because they're hurting so much, when they make someone else hurt or confused, or they control them in some way, or they feel powerful because they can make someone feel an emotion, that makes them feel better than being completely powerless, which is how they actually feel. And so it's this thing that we talked about in yesterday's video, that these people, and even us, when we believe that there's something wrong with us or that we're doing wrong things, one thinks there's something wrong with them. They feel guilty and they put that guilt on others. And they also put the wrong on others as judgment and on themselves. And they believe they're a victim because whenever anyone makes anyone else guilty, they have to be the victim. And then because they're a victim, they feel powerless. Yet all of that is illusion. And it is because there's nothing wrong with them. They are perfect. They're not guilty, they are innocent. They're not the powerless victim, they're the powerful creator. So this is what I wanted to scream from the mountaintops today to every human on planet Earth. You are perfect, you are innocent, you are a powerful creator. You are perfect, you are innocent, you are a powerful creator. You are perfect, you are innocent, you are a powerful creator. And the more we internalize that, the more we see others as that. So the more we heal ourselves, the more we have clear vision and we can see the truth within other beings. And the more we act as that example, the more we provide a blueprint to others to do the same. And people don't realize the reason that. So when people have this talking about making other people wrong and guilty and powerless and victim, it all feels awful. But because they don't realize their body is telling them that it's out of alignment because it feels awful, they just think it's normal. Because everyone else is thinking like that, and everyone else feels bad. And this is pretty interesting right here, and I just don't want to miss anything. So that's why I'm going to my notes here. So people basically feel so bad that feeling bad feels good. And I'm going to explain this. So often I mention if it feels good, it's in alignment. And if it doesn't feel good, it is out of alignment. Which is true. But we have to reach a certain level before we can see our reality like this. Because below a certain level, when we just feel so bad, so powerless, then when we hurt others, this actually feels good. But it's not an authentic good feeling. It's because one feels so bad that just feeling bad feels good. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people will hurt others, be mean. They'll cast guilt. They'll say unkind things. They'll get angry at others, which is putting guilt upon them. And all these things. And it all comes down to guilt in some way, shape, or form. And so this is why one has to reach a certain level before you can realize that, oh, what actually feels good. Because humans as a species, at least for me and the people I used to hang out with, it feels so bad so much of the time that just feeling bad actually feels good. So it's like, it can be confusing. And what I'm also saying with this is that when someone feels good to hurt someone else, that is not in alignment. That is completely out of alignment. It only feels good for them because they are moving that suppressed guilt energy, that wrongness, out of their system and hurling it at someone else. But they were never guilty to begin with. They had never done anything wrong. They just believed in what others said instead of believing in their inner truth. Because if humans believed in their inner truth, we would never once feel guilty. Because our higher self, our true self, has never once felt guilty. But we bought into this at a very young age. And you can see how children are controlled with guilt and shame is just another aspect of guilt, and this builds up in people, and so this is where that hidden anger comes from, and like every abuse, every violence, every rape, every murder, it has all been done out of fear. And fear is an illusion. It's believing in a story. And it all comes down to guilt. And that guilt is believing something is wrong with them, with someone else, which justifies the attack. And just fear in general, fear of like not having something or not being able to get it and then taking it, and this kind of thing. So this, I'm not saying this to scare anyone. I'm saying this actually to bring you out of it, because like the second vision I received after my awakening showed me something that still comes up very often to remind me of the vibrational reality. And you can actually see, I did a rendering of this vision that's on my website under the free resources. But what it showed was planet Earth as a sphere and all these vibrations all around planet Earth, and they each signified people. And they're all different colors. And what the vibration showed is that the same color is always going to be attracted to it. So if I'm a green and you're a green, we're going to attract. If I'm a green and someone with hidden anger is an orange, we're just not going to attract. The orange is going to attract another orange, another one with hidden anger. So what it really helped me with is to feel really safe in this reality, knowing that because I had awakened, because I had been letting go of what was lowering my vibration, I was rising in vibration. And as we rise in vibration, we attract other things that are higher in vibration. Because the more fear one has, the lower in vibration they are. So people who commit these acts of violence and abuse are operating at a very low vibration, so they attract others at a very low vibration. And so as we rise in vibration, we rise out, we're not even we're not going to cross paths with these kind of people as we move out of that. And so, and I have witnessed this with my own eyes. Like, I used to be very low vibration, attracting abusers of all types. And so I've been through a lot. And I'm sure you have too. And it's not about making those people wrong or anything like that. They have internalized that guilt so much they are not living a happy life. But what it was to show me was that as I rose in vibration, I attracted less and less of them, and the severity of the dishing out of the hurt lessened. The higher I rose in vibration, I still attracted these kind of people, but the severity of the abuse was less and less and less. And so there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is freedom. There is complete liberation from this. And the great thing about it is that all humans just want to feel good at the end of the day. Even if they are feeling so low that even just feeling bad feels good to them. Everyone wants to feel good, which translates to everyone is seeking alignment with their true self. Because when we are aligned with our true self, we feel good all the time. That's how we can tell that we're in alignment. We feel good. And this is genuine feeling good, though. This isn't the kind of feeling good that's just better than feeling just completely awful. So this is where we're headed. So imagine a world where we've risen above duality of this wrong and we're all just feeling good. You know, this kind of stuff isn't going to happen anymore. But nothing else actually has to change, because when you bring yourself out of it, you're not going to attract that anymore anyway. You're going to live in a whole new reality, attracting all new people. And so, and this I've noticed in my life, it's been phenomenal. As I've worked my way up in vibration, I have attracted so many different people, and on it goes. So yeah, you can trust that will happen as you continue on this journey. And another thing that came to me this morning actually was the fact that when we feel there's anything wrong with us or anything wrong with anyone else, we're just going to attract people who also feel the same. And what is wrong? It's judgment. It's making guilty. So what does that mean? That if we believe there's anything wrong, anything at all, we will attract judgmental people to mirror this back to us until we can rise above the concept of wrong. And yes, the severity gets less, it's less intense, but still we want complete and total liberation from this. We want to be surrounded by loving people. We want to be surrounded by supportive, encouraging people. So this is very important, because if we even think the tiniest thing is wrong, or that there's something big in our mind that we've always thought was wrong, we will attract other people, judgmental people, people who believe in wrong, people who believe in guilt, people with hidden anger. And I don't know about you, but I am done with the whole attracting others with hidden anger, and I don't want to have any hidden anger myself. So yeah, we can rise above it together. And another thing that came up was that just because we don't resonate with something doesn't mean it's wrong. Because on a spiritual path, it's like we don't, I remember when even shortly after my awakening, I realized that I didn't want to judge anyone anymore. Yet still, I found myself in my mind thinking like that if something was out of alignment, it was wrong, or if something was low vibration, it was wrong, or something that was distorted was wrong, or dissonant was wrong. But it's not wrong. It's just an experience. And we can let everyone have the experience that they are choosing to have, knowing that it's a vibrational reality and that we'll only attract that which we are. We're just not going to attract that. So we don't have to, it doesn't even have to come up in our mind space anymore. So, and then everyone else is on a spiritual journey, so they're all attracting what they need to grow. Because when I was so low, if I wasn't attracting other people at that frequency, I would have never been able to get to that next level, and then to the next level, and then to the next level. It's everyone is helping everyone. There's nothing wrong. And I just want to make sure I've got it all here. Yes, I did. Yeah, there was a lot of notes, and this has been big. It's been really big for me. I had catharsis again last night, which lets me know it's really big when that happens a couple nights in a row. And catharsis, you can also think of it as purging your body, purging old energies. And you may also feel different energies moving through your body, like heat, and there's lots of other things people feel. But I just shared in the last one what happens with me. But yeah, and with these videos, kind of like my books, of course, it's all meant to watch in chronological order. So if you see this one and you dig it and you want to get into it, I would start with the first one, and it's the one that's everything is designed to make our lives better. And I might even put start here in the title or something to make it easy to find. But yeah, what a few days, what a realization that wrong is an illusion, and that we can let go of this. And as we do, wow, the amount of peace and I had this reflected back to me today around tons of people in different areas, and I only had peaceful, wonderful interactions. Didn't attract anyone that was judging. It was beautiful. And really, everything is a mirror. But it takes some time for our human self, because we've been operating from these programmings for so long, to really clue into this and to connect the dots and to put it all together and realize what it is sharing with us. And I sincerely hope that I have helped through this video perhaps connect a dot. And with that, I will send you much love on your journey today, and I will see you in the next one.